changes every which way. You got to hold on to what you need. And if I hide myself away, how could I grow with the world around me?
What's up, guys? Boy Benny. You ever seen mugshots of Charles Manson? Like, they're like the creepiest things. And it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what religious tradition you may have, or not having any. Doesn't really matter. This is creepy. There's something, we're all spiritual beings, and there's something unnerving about a look like this. And Charles Manson, you know Charles Manson, he's like convicted of a bunch of murders, right? First degree murders. Like, he led a cult. And it's not just one bad photo. They didn't catch him at one bad moment. They like a bunch of photos of him looking like this. There's something like wrong about the guy. He looks like a demon. He doesn't. Saying he looks crazy is a simplification of what's actually going on with this guy. There's something dark and spiritual about this guy. And again, he's responsible for at least 7 in cold blood murders, stabbings, and horrific deaths of innocent people, of course. And so, yeah, guy's got a dark soul. This guy himself is a demon. He should have been executed a long time ago, but here we are. So what does a demon look like exactly? Well, at the White House, you may have just seen a demon. Depending on where you come from politically, you may already think that Joe Biden is a demon. I certainly do. I said so right here. Joe Biden's a demon. But the reason I said that is because Joe Biden was asked. He was asked about this. Like, were you responsible for this verdict? What do you think about it? And Joe Biden decides to turn around, cock his head because he can't turn his neck. Cock his head and get this little grin here. Okay? Here, have a watch.
Very much.
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir?
Look at that. Look at that. What else do you call that? Huh? There's no other name for it. This guy's a demon.
Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
Little sly grin there from Biden as he's asked a question by Kelly O'Donnell.
Yeah, not a sly grin, an evil smirk. Mr. President, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner. Joe Biden, evil smirk. Yeah, this totally evil bastard. Joe Biden started these comments by making another evil smirk. Joe Biden addressed the Trump verdict by checking his watch and laughing and creepily grinning.
Good afternoon. Before I begin my remarks, I just want to say a few words about what happened yesterday in New York City. The American principle that no one is above the law was reaffirmed.
What about your dumbass kid, huh? What about your kid? Joe Biden's gotten his son out. His son has filmed himself breaking, I don't know, at least half the tax code. Filmed it. It's not like we say, we just assume he's a dirtbag degenerate. He's filmed himself doing it. There's a bunch of footage of it. From his laptop that they admit is his laptop. So, what do you mean there's no one's above the law? Why isn't your son in prison?
Donald Trump was given every opportunity to defend himself. It was a state case.
No, he wasn't. He was gagged, you dumbass. He was gagged. And it wasn't a state case. You sent your number 3 guy, Matthew Colangelo, from the DOJ, in to run this prosecution. This was a DOJ case. You operated this case. You ran this case. Man, so many people sounding off on this evil smirk. Biden stops, smiles, walks away. Make this go viral so the world can see that Biden is the real threat to democracy, people are saying. When asked if Trump's a political prisoner, Biden just smiles. Primeval and evil, says Senator Mike Lee. This man is going to rot in hell, says Joey. This is the President of the United States. Wow, says Rob Schneider. My God, run this as an ad from now until Election Day, says Sean Parnell. Seconds in the past 24 hours, says Raheem. This clip's going viral. 9.2 thousand likes, 3.7 thousand reposts. Wow. Reporter, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and then blames you directly. What's your response? Biden smirks and then walks away. His effing brain is fried and he's not all there, says Juanita Broderick. Donald Trump Jr. saying, except we all know it was rigged by you and your crooked friends. That's why the number 3 guy at the DOJ joined Bragg's office and the entire case was overseen by Biden donor judge, whose daughter is literally a Democrat political operative. That's right. Such an unbelievable rigged system. And there's only one way to fix it. And we talked about that actually today in this morning's show. The only way to fix it actually is to charge the Bidens. You may think that's crazy, but actually you should just use the same playbook. Just go to the states that the Bidens have committed crimes in and charge them like this. Action is all that matters now. Want to save America? Put Joe Biden in prison. Let's start with his family, because you can't actually charge a sitting resident of the White House. Joe Biden and his family committed a bunch of crimes in red states. There are a number of red states that were the victims of the Biden crime family. Florida's a good one. You know that the Biden family, namely Jim Biden, had a Medicaid embezzlement fraud that was run exclusively out of Florida that hurt Florida hospitals and Florida seniors, that like the innocent, old and young people of Florida in this dark ruby red state were victims of the Bidens and their international embezzlement schemes and defrauding of investors. That happened here. There were criminal charges. They all got dropped. Drag Jim Biden, Joe Biden's brother, and the bag man for all these Biden crimes, drag Jim Biden's ass into a Trump plus 50 district now. Make sure the judge is somebody who donated to Donald Trump. And ensure that the jury pool all wear MAGA hats. I want to see it. And make Jim Biden sit in a sweaty box in some swamp in Florida and then convict his ass. They committed real crimes in this state. Where the hell are the Republicans doing that? There are Republican district attorneys and a Republican secretary of state in this dark, rock red state. Convict him. And then I want Jim Biden thrown into prison. Joe Biden can't do jack. That's a state charge, pal. Start with the families. Jim Biden spends the rest of his life locked in a swamp box with no air conditioning in the middle of the Everglades in Florida. That's how you begin. What about Texas? Anybody watching from Texas right now? You know that Hunter Biden, part of the large scheme that they were trying to do with the Chinese was to sell Texas natural gas LNG ports to the communist Chinese? That's what the Bidens did. That was the Bidens' business plan to get filthy rich. The CEFC deal, Chinese energy company conglomerate. The goal was to sell American natural gas to China. China doesn't have any gas. And so, why can't Texas charge Hunter Biden for this international scheme to defraud Americans of our natural resources? This seems like a huge deal. Start with Hunter. Open the investigation now in Texas. Now. Bring in Hunter. F these little pithy, you're going to see a Hunter Biden trial like in a few days here. F these pithy little totally rigged federal charges. Do it on a state level. Texas, do it now. That's just off the top of my head. You know that Little Rock is currently and has always been where the Clinton Foundation is headquartered? The Clinton Foundation. You're talking international, pay-for-play, money laundering, embezzlement, child trafficking. You're talking about the most heinously corrupt organization in political history, Clinton Foundation. Start the investigation today. The district attorney in Little Rock is a Trump Republican. Open the investigation today. Bill, Hillary, for the rest of their lives, should be in and out of courtrooms trying to defend or not defend the Clinton Foundation, their crimes, and then be thrown into a hot sweat box prison in Little Rock. The only way for this to end is for Democrats to feel the pain of the system they've broken. If you want to break justice and fairness in this country, then you can be the victims of that. Understand that when you loose the hounds of war, that you're liable to get bit. And that's how this ends. Or that's how it continues on forever. Because the country is now just irreparably broken. Never, ever, ever trust those who are celebrating this moment. Rid them from your friend groups. Understand that they are part of the losing side of history. They are part of the bad, corrupted, Marxists do anything for power, destroy the systems. Marxists always use systems to gain power, and then they destroy those systems through the illegitimacy of the process. And that's what's happened.